Hello and welcome to Eyewitness Report on Channels Television. On this edition of the program, Delta State Government extends flood control measures to more communities as it partners interventionist agency, the SOPADEC, to open up water channels in flood-prone areas. Also, the Rivers State government targets zero fatality as it outlines strategies for flood management. Details of these and more on the program shortly. I'm Yomi Otaibi. The Delta State government, through the State Oil Producing Area Development Commission, the SOPADEC, is taking proactive measures to tackle the menace of flooding in different parts of the state. Officials of the commission are carrying out mechanical desiltation, opening of natural waterways, as well as the evacuation of blocked drainages in some oil-producing communities.
A bulldozer is deployed to one of the streets in Agbo as officials of Delta State Oil Producing Areas Development Commission, the SOPADEC, begin to clear blocked drainage in the area. The essence is to ensure the water channels are free of any obstacle to the flow of rainwater, thereby causing flood.
With this new job that they are doing, the flood is going to be less. The government is doing. Because I know the SOPADEC, which is the government, they are the one carrying out this project. Everywhere, even in Warri, they are evacuating all the gutters. So here is not going to be left out. And since they are here, we are happy that this year we are not going to experience any flood. So I'm happy about it. And I believe the rest of the people in Ijere Kingdom are happy with the project that is going on here.
We do not see any water gather anywhere around the area. We appreciate them for their work done.
How the experience did before now?
At least when they fought before, water they gather everywhere. Many people say for our area, they don't pack finish because of the water matter. But we thank God for the work what they do. At least everything they okay.
It's going to reach here.
It's
coming from there.
It's coming from that side to this place.
The clearing of canals and other natural water courses extends to Ukeli North and South local government areas. A swamp buggy moves through deep muddy water, clearing dense vegetation that have clogged water channels. Besides clearing and opening up canals in Warri and Uwe, it is also observed that flooding in the area is worsened by human factor. Most of the channels have been turned into dump sites for household refuse.
This place here.
The swamp buggy we deploy will be here for about 3 weeks. They've just done about 8-9 days now. They'll be here for about 3 weeks because a low-lying city where is prone to flooding. This is eternal flooding we are tackling now. We know full well that the coastal flooding will come, and government is also going to be proactive by making sure that people around the coastal area will not suffer. Their suffering will definitely be ameliorated.
Ugeli North, Ugeli South, to do is one. Warri and Uwe is another team. Sapele, Jesse, Ogara is another team. There is another team currently working in Agbo that will progress from Agbo to Kwale and to Ole. So this is the structure, and the essence is to make sure we cover the oil-bearing communities, and you have seen for yourself now what we have done. And this is what this is actually a tripartite operation where you have the SOPADEC, Ministry of Environment, and the DG of Special Duties, who is involved in clearing, clearing in terms of block canals. His own is for us to identify. We identify any block canal, we draw his attention to it. He does the demolition, and so that is why the three arms are involved. And it's also as a result of the support we are getting from His Excellency, Right Honorable Sharif Borowere, who is trying to provide this is governance made easy to enhance his more agenda. People may not appreciate this, but the locality will appreciate, because it's the one that will be affected when there is major flood. You see the excitement on the part of the resident, because this one now will drastically reduce the impact of flooding when eventually come. So we are happy. We appreciate the support Excellency is giving us. We are not going to enter inside. Okay, this one is...
The SOPADEC is an interventionist agency that uses oil derivation fund to cater for the needs of oil-producing communities in Delta State.
The intervention by the SOPADEC follows what the Delta State government is also doing by demolishing structures built on waterways to end the perennial flooding in some communities.
We are going to fence everybody that has blocked the road or the waterways.
Some weeks ago, officials of the Delta State government visited communities in Warri South and Uwe local government area to warn residents living in houses built on natural waterways to relocate ahead of an inevitable demolition exercise. They identified structures believed to be responsible for flooding in the area.
Cannot move. And what they are trying to do is they build a native drainage to avoid it. And it has been certified as this other waterway, and it cannot stay. I don't tell them, say, we are going to treat location. That is not part of.
The swamp buggy gradually makes its way into Ugboroke community in Uwe local government area, where houses and other structures blocking water channels are marked for demolition. An uncompleted structure identified as a church building and a story building are among several structures to go down. The Director General Special Duties at the Governor's Office leads the operation that is met with resistance.
I was not even informed before that they are coming to this place. The place they mentioned, which I saw on television, was this building. You understand? But I was surprised on Sunday. My neighbor was calling me. I was not coming to shop on Sunday. They were just calling me, they're coming to your building. They say, pack everything. I said, it's not me. They say, they come. I said, yeah. Why? We are still working to see how we can be able to get through this very one they are pointing. They are coming to this very direction. So my brothers and sisters, I must be frank, this building has been existing here for long.
I have been on air. I have gone around town criers, local newspapers, local languages. We have gone for the national news TVs. So nobody can tell me that it's not aware. Yeah. And I'm not going to wait for anybody's confidence.
We are aware, sir.
Let me just say once.
But please, sir, this place is someone's land. That
we are talking about, yeah.
That one is somebody's land.
Fence from this person.
Can you give me an approval between here and the fence? That if you give me the approval, I go. No grammar. Sorry. Excuse me, please. Excuse me. Hold on.
Not the family.
Excuse me. I am not anywhere taking responsibility or directive from anybody. Yes. What I know is this document. Don't make a sentiment about it. I'm being civil so that you will understand exactly what is involved.
Nobody's trying to teach you.
No, excuse me. What we need is the approvers. The entire building has an approval, but part of it does not have an approval, and it encroaches the waterway.
See the approval here.
It is. Look at him. Sort it out with him.
While the demolition ensues, occupants of marked buildings make frantic efforts to move out.
Okay, they don't call this guy.
Some people came, they wrote something on your wall, they want to forward this thing. I said, eh. So I went to meet the landlady. She told me that they came last 2 weeks. So what they told her was they are going to remove the fence, and which she agreed. You can remove the fence, but not the building. But when they came yesterday, they were talking behind the fence, and she was inside. So she now have to come outside to meet them. After the much talk, and now said they want to forward the full building. She started crying that you cannot afford the full building. This is the only thing her husband gave to her before death. Because this is where they buried the man.
Grave.
Yeah?
You can see
it there. That is picture self. So the woman was crying. What happened? Why we came with now? This one you are doing now, you didn't even tell us anything that they who came last 2 weeks ago. Now you are telling us now that they want to afford the full building. We say, okay, let's wait. When they come this morning, we'll know what to do. This whole thing just happened under 2 weeks.
We are suffering here. When there is rain, all our houses are full of water. Even 1 week we can't sleep here. So the government is working well. When we are seeing them, they are working well. So we appreciate them.
What the government is doing now is highly beneficial to us. Even though part of my building will be affected, I do not mind, because of the fact that at the end of the day, it will be beneficial to everyone, including me, myself, and my entire family. So I'm happy for that. It's just that we look forward to see if the government can be patient, so that what will be crushed to the project, they should give us time for us to remove those things away from the road, from the drainage.
And this is just the beginning. We have given them over 2 months to ensure that those who have built on natural waterway should remove their building. Those who do not have approval plan, they should remove their building. And they have deliberately refused. What is going on here? This very building does not even have an approval. And if there's rain, this is Uboroke in Uwe local government. If there's rain for 10 minutes, everywhere in this area just is underwater. And that cannot be allowed. Not an individual's interest. We are going to compromise the interests of millions of Deltans, destroying, blackmailing the government and the governor of Delta states. And we are not doing sentimentally. This is key, and it's going to go everywhere. And they said the falling away of the yellow leaf is a warning to the green ones. Today is on the 7th. We have started and will continue every area. We quite appreciate the fact that times are hard, things are rough, but we must do the right thing. The law is law. So this is why we're here. We're having about 7 equipment scattered all over both Warri South local government and Uwe local government. When we're done here, we're going to go to other local governments. So it's a warning to every other person. Nobody should say this person is working with Sheriff Oborowori, the governor of Delta State, that give me 1,000 or 1 million, then your building will be spared. Or I'm working with Chief Frank Omare, give me 200,000, your building will be spared. Nobody takes, if I arrest anybody that, or report anybody that who have come to compromise.
The marsh bug is also deployed to dredge blocked canals. The Delta State government says it is determined to take necessary actions to prevent catastrophes caused by flooding and its adverse effect on the environment.
Welcome back. In Rivers State, action is being taken to effectively manage the impending flood, which was predicted by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency in parts of the state. The State Flood Management Committee says activities for the pre-flooding period are already being implemented. This report comes as an update to calls made by those affected by last year's flood for the state government's intervention.
Rivers State has always had its fair share of flood disaster, just like last year when several communities in parts of the state went underwater with thousands of persons displaced.
Flood has taken over all farm crops, all farms, crops, and whatever. Nowhere to sleep. There's no way to do it. Not to die. Houses are falling.
Clothes are gone. Our food, even the one who try to rescue the food, the flood has toppled the whole garage inside the water. Nothing at all. As we are going home, we are going to just like that.
About 19 out of the 23 local government areas of the state, including the ones that were previously submerged, have been placed on red alert by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency.
What they were supposed to do.
Not to be caught unprepared, the state government recently constituted a flood management committee. This meeting with local government chairmen is to analyze the current situation in the local government areas and give updates on their efforts so far.
Our activity for this year is focused on 3 prongs. The first one is the pre-flood activities, which we are already carrying out. We've started with creation of awareness and also sanitation exercises, which includes the silting and clearing of debris. The Ministry of Health will soon commence with vaccinations in specific areas where we have had some prevalent diseases in the past. The Ministry of Environment has commenced the mapping out of specific areas and study of terrain so that we would understand the very, very hot areas where we would need to evacuate people from. The Ministry of Special Duties would also do a lot of creation of awareness to our people. That's the first phase. This would also include provision of certain materials to ensure that our IDP camps are in good condition to receive persons that are displaced. For some local government areas where we cannot site IDP camps, we are going to be hiring boats, houseboats, to house the persons that will be displaced.
According to the committee, the state government's target is to record zero fertility should flood return.
We also have our second phase in the roadmap, which will take care of actually looking after persons that are displaced. We do not pray for flood. We do not pray for displacement of persons, but we want to be prepared. We want to ensure that we move our people to safety in the eventuality of any flood, and we want to ensure that we record zero death of persons during this flood season, and also to convince our citizens to be responsive to themselves, to move out when they are asked to move out, and move into secure places which the government and the local government areas will provide for them.
On their part, the council chairman reaffirmed their readiness to work with the committee in mitigating the impacts of flood in their domain.
We want to state clearly that as council chairman, that we are prepared to salvage the situation in case we find ourselves or find our local government in that situation. What we are doing, what we have done presently is to take some preventive measures to ensure that our drains are being desilted, and also ensure that the areas where our people live, that we sensitize them so that whenever we find this flood coming, that at least they are being evacuated to safe areas. We are sure that with what we are doing, particularly at the local government level, and also the provisions that the state is making, that we would be able to tackle the situation as soon as the flood challenges affect us.
The River State government is asking residents not to panic, but follow its instructions religiously to ease the implementation process.
It doesn't take so much to be a reporter on this platform. Your pictures and videos of happenings around you can tell a story that could attract developmental changes to your community. Capture the moments with your mobile device and upload them on our Eyewitness portal on the Channels TV app, which you can download from the various app stores online. Ours is to follow up with you as an Eyewitness reporter. Here are some of the pictures for the week.
It's when they enjoy this rain. We'll never see this kind of thing before. Delta State Governor, want our rescue.
We begin this segment of the program with this video in which an eyewitness laments as flood takes over streets and homes in Warri Delta State. The eyewitness calls out the relevant agencies in the state to urgently attend to their plight by dredging the canal.
Inside people come, inside people house, we are homeless, we are homeless, Delta State Governor. Look at the bridge, look at the canal. Look at the canal where they say they dredge. The whole dredge, they don't pack up for tipper go throw away. They leave them. See the whole canal, the whole bridge block. No one. See no water, see no they pass the bridge. Rather water they pass people's house. See where water reach people's house.
In the next video, residents and motorists rushed down to the Bauchi Gombe Road as Governor Bala Mohammed visits to assess the impact of a collapsed bridge. The incident occurred following hours of heavy downpour and left travelers stranded. Eyewitnesses say the bridge along the federal road at Bara village has been collapsing repeatedly every rainy season, disrupting movement to and from the two neighboring states. Governor Mohammed has since ordered the contractor handling the road project to create an alternative road immediately before the official reconstruction of the bridge.
The contractor I met here, he rekindled some hope in me that he will be able to provide some remedial measures. The road has been procured since 2018. It has also been neglected due to lack of funding. The Northeast Development Commission had given some intervention in terms of bridges and the rest because of our own plea, and nothing has been done up to this moment. So we are still calling on the federal government to look at this corridor because it's the major gateway that is connecting the Northwest, the Northeast, the North Central, and indeed the whole country.
Thanks for sending those images. That's it on this edition of the program. See you again next week. I'm Yomi Otaigu.